go and take a picture in front of a Ferrari, and that's really this.
most of us, most of us, our parents sell their property to let us travel. Right. Because of what our senior brothers who entered into Europe first came and sell it back home.
But when most of our brothers and sisters, what they do here is to go and take a picture in front of a Ferrari, and that's really disinformation.
It's not really worth it, to come to this place to risk your life.
We are slaved everywhere. We are discriminated. We are stigmatized.
The life in Europe is life in the hell.
Personally, I want to speak to our politicians and I call them sellouts, because they are not looking at the interests, the needs, the vulnerability that constrain people to migrate. Because to the Gambia or to Senegal, to African political leaders, it is convenient, even if we die in the streets, even if we die in the sea, as much as we can send remittances. It is convenient for them that we, the youths who are potential revolutionaries, leave the country and let them to dictate. So I am telling Africans who are there that I am guilty for being here. If you come here, you are running from your work. You are running from changing Africa and the generations that will become failures as well. I contributed to it, and you are also contributed to it. You could contributing to it. So if I am speaking and if you can hear me today, I am saying I should get back. And then we should work on what is happening because the future is in Africa. But the real question is the future in Africa for Africans? Are we talking about Chinese colonialists, or we are talking about multinationals who have stolen us the traditional livelihoods that in fact we hate ourselves? Africa is still a colonial economy. So it depends on what people are running from. We cannot talk about the solution without talking about the causes of the problems. Right. It will be false that we will talk about, okay, people will stay there. Which we all live in one system, capitalism, that create illusions in everyone. I want to live in a house. It doesn't matter whether I live in the village or not. Who am I not to hope that I need the best for myself? We are slaved everywhere. We are discriminated. We are stigmatized.
Was our parents sell their property to let us travel. Right. Because of what our senior brothers who entered into Europe first came and sell it back home.
But when most of our brothers and sisters, what they do here is to go and take a picture in front of a Ferrari, and that's really disinformation.
It's not really worth it, to come to this place to risk your life.
We are slaved everywhere. We are discriminated. We are stigmatized.
The life in Europe is life in the hell.
Personally, I want to speak to our politicians and I call them sellouts, because they are not looking at the interests, the needs, the vulnerability that constrain people to migrate. Because to the Gambia or to Senegal, to African political leaders, it is convenient, even if we die in the streets, even if we die in the sea, as much as we can send remittances. It is convenient for them that we, the youths who are potential revolutionaries, leave the country and let them to dictate. So I'm telling Africans who are there that I am guilty for being here. If you come here, you are running from your work. You are running from changing Africa and the generations that will become failures as well. I contributed to it, and you are also contributed to it. You could contributing to it. So if I am speaking and if you can hear me today, I am saying I should get back. And then we should work on what is happening because the future is in Africa. But the real question for Africans, are we talking about Chinese colonialists, or we are talking about multinationals who have stolen us the traditional livelihoods that in fact we hate ourselves? Africa is still a colonial economy. So it depends on what people are running from. We cannot talk about the solution without talking about the causes of the problems. Right. It will be false that we will talk about, okay, people will stay there. But we all live in one system, capitalism, that create illusions in everyone. I want to live in a house. It doesn't matter whether I live in the village or not. Who am I not to hope that I need the best for myself? We are slaved everywhere. We are discriminated. We are stigmatized. And I am not saying this is particularly Italy. But what are the other European countries who are helping Italy with the load of the migration since 2015? Why is Africa enslaved? We aren't poor. We will never be poor. The future is still there. The question is, who is this future for? Is it for Africans when we all run from the things that we should try to make up there?
So you've heard it from them, and now we want to hear it from you.
Yo, assalamu alaikum. On jarama tanaram, good evening. Greetings, assalamu alaikum. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the open conversation. That was a cry of the African youth. The brother who was last speaking is a Gambian brother. You know, the brother have important points. The cry of the brother is genuine. He made valid points. But today, I will not be here alone today to talk about these things. I invite one of my friend, my classmate, my former classmate, MUHAMMED Fati, to talk to him. And when I saw this video, when I saw it on my Facebook, I did not know when I agreed on with Mohammed Fati to join me today on this platform, because I want to talk to Mohammed Fati, because Mohammed Fati is a very intelligent brother. You know, he lived in Belgium here with me. We live in the same country here. But Mohammed is also a provincial youth like me. He's somebody who was born in the provinces of the Gambia, in URR, in Woolly. You know, I went with Mohammed from junior secondary school to the high school. You know, he's my colleague. He just recently come from the Gambia. You know, I was trying to understand, because me, I was in the Gambia for holidays in 2018. I did not go 2019. I did not go 2020. But Mohammed Fati is just from the Gambia not long ago. I wanted to understand Mohammed Fati, what did you understand in the Gambia? And Mohammed Fati is a youth man. We were part of the arts class. Some of you who went to school in the Gambia, you know what I'm talking about. Arts, you study, they give you subjects like government and history, literature, and something like that. So we were exposed to the system of government in class. We debate about politics, we debate about history in class. So politics have been in our day-to-day life since we were in school. Mohammed Fati is a brother. He's on. Like so we were exposed to the system of government in class. We debate about politics, we debate about history in class. Don't listen to this. Don't listen to the Facebook. Just listen. I see you are listening. So you know, I was introducing. I was talking about you, but after I will let you introduce yourself, my brother.
Thank you.
Before I go forward, you know, young men like me and you, we choose arts when we were at school. At school, we were fortunate even to study about the system of government, how governments are formed, and we study history. We know, at least we did not study up to higher stages like university and something like that. But we have the basis, we know from this solid ground. But listening to this brother, when I invited Mohammed to want to talk to him, and the day I post this video from this brother, when I saw it, Mohammed Fati happens to know this brother, who was the Gambian brother who was crying about the failure of the African government, our leadership in Africa. You know, me and Mohammed, we follow African politics and politics in general, maybe because of our background of studies, you know, our schooling, that even if we don't want to take interest in politics, but we cannot avoid it, because the teachings is there. We are used to, you know, talking about politics, following politics since from the classroom, you know. So, and it happens, we become people who are illiterate. We can read and write, and we can listen, and politics are part of our life. Mohammed Fati is a young Gambian who have been politically active in the Gambia before he left. Maybe when he introduced himself, you will know him. So for those of you who do not know him, but today my main focus was to talk to Muhammad Fati about, his journey in Gambia. Recently, he come from holidays. I want to talk to him because me, I did not go there since 2018. I wanted to know if it is the way I left Gambia in 2018, if I can balance from like socially, if I can balance that from his experience, because he's just from there like 2 months ago, something like that. And also to talk to him about the political situation in the Gambia, the political ambience in the Gambia, the distractions, and also how politics is run in the Gambia. I did not invite Mohammed here as a political representative. I invite him as my friend, a childhood friend, somebody who I used to debate about politics and social matters in the classroom, to the streets, and still, or if you maybe follow both of us, you see sometimes we contradict each other on social media, on Facebook. But before I go further, Mohammed, I will let you introduce yourself. We are free to speak. Maybe majority of the languages that I speak, you speak them. So we are free to express ourselves in any language that we deem fit at any moment that you feel to express yourself. Either Dutch, French, English, German, or anyhow, Mandinka, Pular, anything, Wolof, anything that you feel at any spot. We want to express yourself in. Feel free. You are free to speak any language, because I think, majority of the languages that you speak, I think I understand them and I speak them. So I will let you first introduce yourself. Then I will start my intention to talk to you about what I want to talk to you. Open conversation. I will let you introduce yourself, my brother.
Thank you very much, Babukar. Komi yafu nyamena, you give a little bit introduction. Komi nakul kenu nyaming way back in school, kabin base. So umpana masal dan woto. Nte tomu Muhammad Fati lati. Originally, I was born and raised in Nyakoi, village called Kerewan. If you know Bate, Niko Nyakoi is a big area. Damingalanko Sate Jamale village. So, but to be specific, there is a village called Kerewan in Uliwes district, Modawoleto. Bodingana Dindia Jama Balake Base Sate Kona, because junior school Kijele St. George's, and then a secondary school, a high school Nasir. So our path cross during that time, covering St. George's up to Nasir, So from there, Avandara Foresight Training Institute, just opposite American Embassy, Keraba Avenue, information technology kije up to diploma level. So after there, Ndaran Jolok Tudos, Diafananga business administration and management nekije nga diploma soro woda fanang around 2005 2006. So they are about menung Gambia ajeles ntata no business kula business also je na broda solka motor senang ke wafi halna ta wona broda be Europe debije ajele after now stories so somewhere around 2012 nga chancro na Belgium jang ajele. So since then Belgium nga some courses ki jam fanang ngala ko nga logistic management ki janne logistic assistant in zog sector, maybe that you understand it. You understand. So after right now I'm working with Postanel packet in Belgium here. So in short olumna fongotino and nombela viewers will be contona panang and I'm wishing them a pleasant evening. Kafoeko, welcome to the conversation with Pavukar. It's a pleasure. It's a fungoni sasia, model financial ya, you join to benefit from what we are going to discuss. So I know time to time we will be switching in English and Mandinka, and
that's true.
And more. Yeah.
It's good that it brief your background, your background you gave it. You gave your background. I was talking about where our life come together, because we are all provincial youths. We were all born in the province. But Mohammed Fati, like I will tell, they say charity begins at home.
Yeah.
I will speak this in English to you. Maybe.
Okay. Yeah.
Are you following politics in Belgium?
Yeah, sometimes not as keenly as I am doing in Gambia.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is your take on the interprofessional accord that is happening presently for these years, and now that on Monday there will be the trade unions, the workers unions are going to make demonstration on Monday. What is your take on that as a working class Belgian resident of Belgium?
Yeah, thank you very much for that important question. It speaks to the fact that people, working class people worldwide, are struggling to come to terms with the fact that they are not being compensated for the number of hours they have been working, and then that is not only the problem of only Africa or Gambia. As you rightly explained, in Belgium, I think Monday there will be a strike. There will be a strike here that workers' union are going to embark on. So I think it is very important for the workers' union to take that part. I supported it wholeheartedly because.
So will you go to work on Monday, or are you going to demonstrate?
No, I choose not to go to work on Monday.
So me and you, we are all in the same vein. So
yes.
you believe the working class Belgium, people in Belgium, they deserve more. You also believe?
Of course, yes, that's what I believe.
So
that's what I believe.
In brief, I will take it from here with you, brother. Me and you, we are from the provinces.
Yes.
We were born in, and our parents struggled to take us to school.
That's true.
And how much it costs to go to school in Africa. There is no supplement like in Europe, like the social system. My brother,
yeah.
My question here is, do you think the way the working class Gambian is treated, or how institutions like the government institutions, they take the working people in the Gambia? Do you think that is fair?
First of all, we have to put it in the context. When you look at it, for example, in Belgium, the workers' union have a structure that speaks for them. That makes sure that they are recognized. And that can come together and put a demand to the government that the government will be able to respond to their demands. So in the Gambian context, so is that the case or not? So that's the first thing we have to put into perspective. The Gambia workers union, are they even active in fighting for the right of their own workers or not? So if that is not in place, how do you expect your employer to respect you when you are not putting a fight, or you are not taking a stand to be respected, you yourself as a worker? So I think the biggest problem is with the workers' union of the Gambia. We have a very weak workers' union in the Gambia that does not even realize the importance of their members. So if you tell many people in the Gambia about workers' union, I'm sure majority of them will tell you or are not aware of the workers' union in the Gambia, or they are not even registered.
So
you understand?
The question, you are right. You are 100% right, because maybe the ordinary working class Gambian does not know about the essence of these institutions, like these movements, like in Europe here. If you see here, people, somebody cannot dismiss somebody like anyhow. Somebody cannot pay somebody any loan or any salary that he or she wants, or make you work over hours without compensating you. like we know in many African, and let's talk about Gambia. I'm not going to talk about workers of other countries. I'm going to talk about the Gambia, where me and you were born and we are raised. We know our parents going from morning to afternoon, our family members. Do you think the elites of the Gambia, do you think they make benefit much effort to mobilize people, to sensitize them, to let them know that they are the power? Because if let's say when tomorrow everybody in Gambia, let's say Monday, from the cleaner to the driver of the president, like they did what is going to happen in Belgium here on Monday, do you think that something will come into the Gambia, because Gambia is a tax revenue income generating country, so do you think the working class Gambian know his value?
Baugar, it's very sad, like you have just rightly said. If you look at this whole thing, the elites, the people who are higher up there, who are employing these people, I think it's not up to their interest to enlighten the people about the essence and the importance of the workers' union, because it's to their interest to exploit these people. But like you said, if the Gambian workers working class came together and even protest for just one day, let everybody say no working day today, nobody is going to work unless our salary is increased to this amount of this certain amount. We all sit home for just one day. It's going to crumble the backbone of the government. So they cannot afford to allow such thing to happen. And eventually, what will happen? They will come to time with these people. They will sit to a negotiation table and listen to their demands and their proposals. And once that happens, and it became a resolution that is binding upon the government to put those resolutions into practice, then you will see that the wage of the workers' union of workers in the Gambia will increase drastically, because the Gambia is a tax-based economy. Right now we don't have mineral resources where we tap into to get a revenue. They said we have oil, but we don't start exploration. The only mineral resources we have that we can utilize is our seas and the sand mining that is happening. But that is not enough to sustain the government. Majority of what the government use on its day-to-day expenditure is based on the tax it collected from the people. So when the workers came together and say to the government, you know what, we understand we are partners, we are all stakeholders in this, we are all a Gambian citizen. So why not we come to a table and discuss about our welfare and our condition that is happening to us in our workplaces. This is our demand. This is what we want the government to stand for us and do for us. And I think if they have a strong leadership that is leading this process between them and the government realizing that these are very important stakeholders in national development, there is no way they will ignore that. So by doing that, the workers' union will be respected, and we will have a good number of people who will be a part of that system to make sure that it is a continuity. It is a continuity. Once it started a particular year, it is going to be a continuity every year to celebrate that day, to make sure that the government is reminded of their obligation. So I agree with you. When we come together and say sit down for a day, the government have no choice but to answer to the demand of the workers' union.
Mohammed, let me my observation is, the political party institutes are stronger than the working class or the workers' unions. The workers political parties are more organized than the people those people who are aspiring to run a state are to govern tomorrow. We have more political institutes, political parties who are in the Gambia that are strong, than you hear about our workers' union. You'd see like let's say the workers day is 1st May, something like that.
Yeah, May, yeah, 1st May.
You see people leave their activity, they go to celebrate. Celebrate what? What are you celebrating?
No, you don't.
What are you celebrating, my brother? When they put a budget on they put like a constitution or amendments of constitution or constitutions on a table, and they don't talk about you, and yet still the one who is going to work every day. Bro, I was talking to one brother, he was explaining me how much he earned for a day and a month, and he was telling me how much his expenditure, daily transport expenditure. Bro, his transport is almost more than his
salary. Yeah.
So why are Gambians going to celebrate Workers' Day?
I think it's a case of they don't know what Workers' Day is exactly. What exactly means Workers' Day. It is to highlight, the sufferings and the struggle of the workers, to bring it to light, so that the powers that be can understand, the problems of the workers. But instead of they going there making a statement, writing a statement, communicate a strong statement, and present it to the government on this day, because this day the government, everybody is at home, they are listening, they are watching the Workers' Day activities, and it's an opportunity on this day to present a very strong proposal to the government. Instead of going to the stadium, playing football, playing games and all of these things, that will not bring any benefit to them. So I think it's a case of not knowing what you are doing as a worker. I think the Workers' Day should be used as an opportunity, should be taken as an opportunity to present their case to the government, to make them hear what they are going through. They can even organize symposiums, and organize seminars on that day, and ask various people to come together and make interviews. This is going to highlight their problems. Instead of playing football, and organizing games. I think it's not correct.
Bro, Nia Jube daily annual budgets of like departments all, and in this private institution in Gambia.
Yeah.
What they spend on Workers' Day, Nia Jube, bro, and you look at the condition of the workers, how they work and how they come to work, their welfare. Boy, that budget, when they put it annually to to add on those people's funds like salaries or allowances, it will abe fenjamale boy. But you see the ordinary Gambian man or Gambian woman, you are working for Gamtel or Gamcel or QCell or Africell or Ministry of Defense or Ministry of Bala. They give you a T-shirt. That T-shirt, you know how much they buy it and how much they use to print it, and how many of those T-shirts do they print? And still in your department, maybe there are not enough. The working condition in the department is not correct.
It's true.
There are a lot of things, and you just because of everybody, somebody is going to the stadium. You for festive, and they don't think about this. Don't you think that people, the employers, they use those things to distract people of the necessities, what is necessary?
Yeah, it's a case of, it's like that, man, because I think to them, they are making a favor to these people, or make them enjoy, the whole year you are working for the whole year, so now you can have a fun, for this day, they make it look nice to them, to make it look like they are trying to, create an opportunity for them, to enjoy themselves, to come together and socialize, and share, jokes, and have fun, But at the end of the day, what is the importance of all of that? When you go home, and the next day, you're thinking of, what to eat and what my salary, what and all of these things. So, like you said, the amount of money they put into printing those things, it could be plowed back into the institution, and create a working environment that is suitable for these people. Sometimes you go to a certain workplace, you don't even have a safety issue. For example, you are working in a carpentry, Gambia carpentry workshop. This I once went to in Canifing. This I think it's Gambia something. But it's a Gambian company. It's a carpentry company. You go there, you see carpenters wearing some sandals, wearing shoes that are not protective. So instead of creating those kind of incentives for them, whereby they will be secure in their workplaces, you create the environment for them, maybe even add all those funds together, and buy a transport service that will be able to make movement easy for them. Those who are far from the place, you buy at least a minivan or a minibus that will be able to transport them from their workplace to a certain location. This is more better and more profitable than organizing this thing for one day, in the name of celebrating the Workers' Day, when the workers are suffering, not knowing what lies ahead them in their workplaces in terms of security, in terms of in terms of safety, and in terms of mobility, which at the end of the day is contributed to the lack of efficiency of this staff. Because if you are not motivated the whole year round, the efficiency and your productivity will not be as it should be. So I think these are some of the factors that led to the low productivity in our workplaces. A lack of projects finishing on time. Because you are not motivated, you are not incentivized, you are not put in a category that when you look at yourself, you can feel proud of yourself. But rather, when you go, you are thinking of the next meal. How are you going to get it? So it's impossible for you to function effectively in such a situation. No, this is why no wonder in our department, in our ministries, there are so many delay of projects, so many delay of things that should be done immediately, but they are not doing. Instead, the people who should be doing that, they are thinking of how to make more money aside, different from their job.
That is corruption.
That's corruption. That all be corruption. So
that
instead of
corruption, people trying to but let's be honest here. Mohammed, you going to work a whole month, yeah, and you are paid less than $2,000, bro. And a bag of rice in the Gambia presently. You are just from the Gambia. You can confirm this with me, yeah? It's in confirm no. Me tembo mento. Back mtenga membula no Gambia. Bag of rice is up almost $1,200. What do you know about that? Is that still the same?
Now bag of rice is 1,300 something, 1,350 something. Yeah, it's more than what you live in.
Me, I'm very, very curious. When I go to, and I am the youngest male son of my family. Nintata Gambia thing. Na elder brother membe suokono. Ala musol. Samba marche otole. He can't samba marche otole. He can't drag into the market. And you know me. I go with them into the market. Not because they want me to go.
But you want to go with them. Yeah.
I want to go with them and also to see firsthand. Because young Mohammed is no Jambi, yeah. Moye kumandi Gambia ka for Mohammed so $1,000. You think $1,000 or $5,000 is a lot of money in the Gambia. You consider that. But bro, ntata boy musudo na sister na brother la muso alafta nyole son na boy. Boy, imagine boy until Kabrin when we were younger, boy. If you buy something $25 or $50,
bro,
that you have a bucket of daily meals, things that you need. Even $15, boy, what to na sisters.
Was long. Was good.
But boy, bro, this fish cost one fish. It costs like almost $100. Because I was shocked, bro. I was shocked to know, and you think about the salary of a Gambian. Ikamem do more me alonko the lowest wages in the Gambia. Omari maybe ni amantara when he or she ni amantara come me and you when we are not from when you are not in Basse, when we are in the we don't have our family there or we don't have a compound there, we have to rent. We go and rent. Boy, rent is something else. Even when I was in the Gambia in like 2002, 2003, 2005, it was a lot of money. And you imagine now, boy, what do you think the ordinary Gambian who get up every day to go and work, what do you think should be his priority? What should be his mentality? What is your take on that? What do you think how do that person should think about going to the work? They pay you $2,000, or $3,000. You know that will come end of the month. And end of the month you have to pay all your bills. Haninte member Europe Jamfang. When they pay us, sometimes when we pay all our bills, bro, we cannot help almost nobody.
Yeah, it's true.
Imagine somebody who like being paid to. You consider that, bro. You cannot eradicate poverty. You cannot stop corruption. You cannot stop bribery. If you see so we cannot stop those things until we put the working people first. Don't you think so?
It's true. Everywhere around, all over the world, it is most of the working people that that move the country. Most of the time, because no matter how small their salary is, still the government will have to take something from that salary and put it into the government coffers. You understand? So this is why it is very important for a working class people like us to first of all think about, at the end of the day, what am I to myself and to my family? Because you wake up in the morning, go to work, and your salary is like $2,000. What can you do with $2,000 at the end of the month? First, the priority should be food. When you buy a bag of rice, and the fish money comes every day. So this is why we see a crime rates high in this country, in the Gambia, because people have to eat. And when the workers are not having enough salary at the end of the day, what will happen is the family will suffer. Because when I cannot provide for my family, and at the end of the day I have to pay a school fee for my kids, I have to go to work every day. When I don't have a car, I have to pay a taxi or join a public van to go to work every day. And I have to also, health is here and there. I have to, when my parents are sick, I have to pay for all of these things. So when I am not able to produce this for my family, at the end of the day, it causes depression for me and stress. This is why most of the time, you go to in Gambia, you go to work and you come home as a family man. You meet your family. You cannot even sit down and talk very nicely with your family, because you are thinking about what you are thinking. The family and the kids are not thinking about this thing, because for them, they see you going and coming, and you are providing for the family. But most of the time, what is in your head is too much for you to contain yourself. Sit down and have a lovely chat with your family, with your wife and your children. So this is why most of the time, when you are not able to produce for your family, the children at home, they provide an alternative way of getting money for themselves to take care of their own needs, which you are unable to do as a father. So what they will do, they will find another way of earning money. So if they are not employed, they are not a business people. What are they going to do?
Steal.
So they will end up stealing, engaging in small break-ins and stealing from people. So this is why you can see in Gambia 16, 17-year-old boy, stealing, and breaking into houses. Most of the time is caused by untold, suffering they face in their houses. No one is justifying a thief or robbery, but there are, underlying factors that cause all of these things. Because when you, at the end of the day, when your father cannot take care of you, your mother cannot take care of your needs, you also have a need to take care of yourself. At the end of the day, you will engage in vices that are not suitable for the society and for yourself. So the problem of the working class people, when we are not taking care properly, it gets back to us and our family and the society at large and the community. And at the end of the day, the government will have a problem in her hand, which it cannot contain. And like you can see in Gambia, this is what is happening right now.
Yeah, it's what you are saying here is one social problem that we have in our communities. In Europe here, it's easily you notice them. Because in Gambia is somebody can be depressed.
Because
they easily go into depression and they cannot get help, and they get more stress. They get more stress from their family and people around them, because people will start to judge them. In Europe here, you hear people committing suicide. People kill themselves because of depression. Like what you just lamented here, social problems that can come to you, which can be a reflection from your day-to-day life, and also it can be a burden to your family, relationship. Some people kill themselves in Europe.
It's true. It's true. Of course.
In Africa is in Gambia or in Africa, that's very rare to hear people committing suicide, but people will start maybe because of we have a lot of social contacts with people. We have the people around you all the time.
We are asked to be strong and all of these things. We carry everything in our hearts and in our mind. While inside we are feeling we are feeling stressed and depressed. But because like you said, it what helps us to also is, I think, the faith we have in religion or what, and
religion, yes.
So because we say, okay, it's going to be okay, it's going to have faith in God,
Destiny.
Because of these things that make us strong, we don't commit suicide, we don't do stupid things. But we are so many distressed people in the Gambia, so many people that are depressed, because it's how can a man, who have a family and is not able to provide for his family, is not able to provide a 3 daily meal, three square meal for his family, and you think this person is happy every day? It's not possible, my brother.
No.
Because we have faith in us, and we mingle. We are kind of a communal people. We are not individualistic like in Europe. This is what is helping us to not commit suicide and do stupid things. But we are facing untold terrible situation in our country that needs urgent address if we are to avoid the next crisis that is going to happen in our country.
Yes, Mohammed, what you are saying here, what we are talking about here. Many people, it is so unfortunate that, in our country, in the country where me and you were born, we are raised, the same reasons that made young Gambians to live, or young people to live, the same thing that make us to just live, is still there. It is still there.
It's still there,
I was having a conversation with one brother. They were talking about a particular youth whose parents passed away, and the family is there, and they are talking about but that maybe that boy should go back to the family. He should decide and go back and be with the family. I said, because wo mari meya sabo ay awulita abota Gambia, meya bondi Gambia o meya bondi Africa wo hani sayon bije. Amang ke ko ni abota jambi ni muruta je asi wol aymel taraje ase demano ate demano la, because meya wulindi meya ke fo abota je wo hani sayon wo bije, bro. There is the problem. People are not looking for the grassroots problems. It's easy. It's easy that you see governments or political leaders. They go to do short-term solutions. They look for political campaign, political goal, projects or things. They do them, but those are those are not the necessities that people need. You know, there are problems in our communities. You know, those things have to be solved. If they are not solved, or they are not put in order, or there is no strengthening, bro, Hanini, if you build Gambia like Dubai, you know, let's say the government of the Gambia, they build Gambia into Dubai, like the structurally.
Yeah.
And
Infrastructure.
the people are their standard as the same. It will be it will decay. A baby killer come like because the problem is there. We have to solve the problem. The problem is the livelihood of the people, the betterment of the day-to-day person who the person who wake up to try and bring, you know, dinner on the table. That person's situation have to be better. And if that is not, bro, anything that you make, it is just, you know, the cleanliness of the chicken, like they always say. What do you think?
No, even for, you know, it's exactly like that, no? Because Niajube, you know, a majority of our people are poor people. And most of the Andola government, Niajube, you know, they are working for at least 2 or 3% of our people. Many they are elites, you know, they are rich people, you know. You know. But majority of Gambians don't need much. What we need is, you know, the basic. At least let's start from the basics, you know. You know, we are able to eradicate, you know, Congo, you know, hunger, you know, not eradicate, but at least minimize it, you know, very well, you know. At least every family is able to have, you know, control sima and dasamo, you know. You understand it? You know, no sort of reg. The next thing is jara kenda fana soniano. Pulkata lopano akasoniano mol blokono aje. And not only affordable, but abekala mundu munganko ay quality soto, you know, munganko hani fuaro sa afford no len. It's not like only, you know, the private clinic munyanko, you know, only the rich can afford it. So if you have at least, you know, nka konton simanda samo soro no, you know, na suol kono la nka das jara kenda sunda le plan ron ko jara kenda soro no je munganko ada sonia no. Na di non fana ka karan mundo, you know, ika karamun joro joke no masakunda ka ma ko no buga karan, you know, ajele then ibayela ko, you know, tani na fana ka sonia no jurol bulay no firulal fana la fengu da ka gino firulal fana bulo kono. Then if these basic things are able to, if we are able to attend these basic things, then what is going to be easy for the government to concentrate on building other infrastructure. The people can have patience and allow government to improve other sectors of the economy, such as, you know, building high-end roads, you know, building high-end roads, building and all of these other things, you know. At least molkata suokono, you know, su tanina mukasila imfenda kafoko, you know, molebe, you know, national life will be threatening or my security is at risk. You know, these are the basic things what we need, you know. Like you take a move for, you know, Hanya Gambia Beke, you know, skyscrapers, you know. But basic fundamental needs all among sort of no Gambenol Bulla. It's going to be very, very difficult for Gambenol see, you know, you know, in new idea, ika contains la bankolka. As long as you man sort of know, people will still leave the Gambia and try to enter Europe by all means necessary. No matter how you talk to people, they can't understand this because they don't have the basic in their house, in the country.
Mohamed Niajen, I quote that, yeah. Niajube, Yano maybe somebody who is living in Africa. It's very difficult to convince somebody who is living in Africa to know that poverty is in Europe and it's in America. If you look at in America, let's say New York City, yeah, more. What we see the pictures of New York City, you will not believe millions of people are living on the streets. People are homeless in New York City. You know, many people, when you tell them that, they will not believe that. If I tell somebody, me having statistics, knowing about things in Belgium here, you and I know, there are people who are living under the poverty line in Belgium here. You know that. You know the social structure in Belgium here. Imagine if these things where there were not institutions like, government are not having means to support people.
Support these people, yeah.
It will be worse than in Africa. In Gambia, it's very rare to meet somebody who is from Gambia, who is born in the Gambia, who have friends in Gambia, who is sleeping on the street. But in Belgium here, you might end up living on the street even when your parents are here, if you don't mind at one point.
It's true.
So you see why I'm saying that is the people are the most important thing. You have to value the human being.
Yeah, the human resources. Yeah.
The human resource is the most valuable thing, bro.
Yeah.
So this is why I gave that example, because if, like, you and I, and maybe somebody who is watching here who live in America or other developed world, Gambia is 2 million people, less than 3 million people, and you imagine a city like New York City, they tell you like almost 1 million people are
in the street.
On the streets. Yeah. That is half of the Gambia is on the street, bro. So you see,
that's like you said. I just want to buttress on what you said, to put more emphasis on the human development. Like if you develop the human being, their capacity and their productivity, then you are developing the country as a whole. But it is the people that work, that make the country work. But if you invest on those people, you develop their capacity, mental capacity, and their earning capacity and their resources. If you are able to develop this, then at least you have done half of what you should do as a government, because these people will be able to take care of themselves and take care of other people. So at the end of the day, the working class people should be looked at seriously, and I think the government should put in a policy that will cater these people. And also the Minister of Trade or Minister of Work and Communication, Minister of Works, I think Minister of Works. I don't know what they are doing for the workers now, apart from organizing every year Workers' Day.
Mohammed, do you think the workers, the people, should left it to the government, to the central government, to organize themselves?
No.
Don't you think it's high time? Like, bro, how many political parties do we have in the Gambia now? If I don't
sometimes you cannot even. It's in the 16 or more. I don't know, 13 or I cannot even remember.
Yeah, bro. If people can mobilize to form political parties, bro, what about you, the people who go to work, who want to the whole people like to see that your life, your work is secured? Bro, the ACV in Belgium here, the ABVV, all this, do you think government form them?
No.
Government doesn't form those, because those people, they are the headache of the government. You know what I'm talking about. You see now, government don't want them to strike on Monday because government don't want to listen to them. They call on everybody to not go to work, to strike on Monday.
Yes.
The people should not wait for central government. People should be organized. I think it's high time the Gambian people or Africans to start to think beyond politics.
Yes. Exactly. Just like what you are saying. Most of the central government is looking at the interest of the executive, and the people there, because it is not to their interest to empower the working class people. Because if they empower the working class people, these people will be independent and self-sufficient in some form or way. So they will not be able to manipulate these people in a way to into their own interest. So like you said, it is left to the people to organize themselves, and take it to these people, to the central government. Because like you said, here, ABVB, ACB, and all these trade unions, they don't go there like that. They go there and everyone, come together and fight the interest of their workers. If we are able to do that, at least one Gambia is small, we need maybe one or not more than two workers union. Maybe just one is enough, But when they come together, they are able to make a strong demand for their people. Unless and until they do that, I don't see the working condition of workers in the Gambia, changing anytime soon. And I can tell you the central government will not spearhead this crusade, to make sure that the workers, the working class have their fair share of the cake. But instead, they will be there, promoting their own political agenda and advancing their own political parties.
In the four decades that we live on this planet Earth and our matured route, like the last 2 decades, bro, have you seen any meaningful changes in our Gambia? Since, let's talk about our generation. Like, we don't have to talk about the generation before us. The last 2 decades, or 3 decades that me and you, as 2 decades as matured men from the Gambia, or 2.5. Have you seen anything meaningful changes for the ordinary working class Gambian?
No, frankly speaking, I don't, because since 20 years ago or more, things are the same, Every day, the price of basic commodity keep increasing, And there's no sign that it will stop at any time soon, And whilst, the price of basic commodities increases, the salaries of the people remain stagnant, or if it is increased, maybe it's very small, compared to the skyrocketing of the prices. And we don't see any seriousness on the side of the government from 20 years ago up to now to make sure that this suffering ends. So, to be honest with you, I have not seen much changes from 20 years ago up to now. Everything keeps increasing by the day. So
who are you to blame for that, bro?
I think collectively, I'm going to blame the Gambian people, but more so the leadership.
But the leadership come from us.
Yes, this is why I say I'm going to blame the Gambian as a whole. Those who are capable and know what is going on, but we are still all sitting, folding our hands, and hoping that the next man will do it for us. You understand? So when I sit down in my home, maybe it's easy for me to provide food for my family, and the next man also feel the same thing. But how many of us are we compared to the masses?
Yeah.
So if we follow our self-interest, because it's not affecting us like the others, we don't care much. The only time we want to involve ourselves in things when it affects us directly. That is the time you will get up and start talking about things. But what about those who have been feeling the pain throughout their lives? And these are the silent majority in the Gambia. So as long as the silent majority plus those who have at least the 1% or 2% come together and leave politics aside and see Gambia as a country, as one people with common objective, that is to better ourselves and to make that country a country that will be an envy for the rest of the world. As long as we don't see things in that light, or you want to see things in a political view, my brother, there is no way, even the leadership cannot take us from this quagmire. Because once you are trying to put the leadership on the spot, another one is defending the leadership. Understand? So it became divide and rule between us. So the leadership have all the time to concentrate on itself, and manage things according to how he feels. Because at least when he look at this way, he can see people that are supporting him, whether it's right or wrong. And when he look at the other side, he can see some people that are fighting him. So they will leave us to fight against each other while they do their things unnoticed. While we focus our attention, and put all our energy onto the leadership, whom we put in place to make sure that they better our lives with our taxes. We are fighting against each other, causing each other, and forgetting about the main things, which is to make sure that the government functions as it's supposed to do. That is to make the the environment conducive for the people and to make sure that the living conditions of the people are at least respectable, maintained. That is their responsibility as a government. But when we focus our side on these things and we turn to each other because of politics, insult each other, call each other names and forget about the government. Government will do what it's like. No matter which leadership comes, it's going to be the same thing. Because no matter what they do, they will still have people that will support them. But that's okay. But at least the majority is to be on the side of the truth. No matter what, even if your leader is in power, it's your political leader. But if you know that hey, what my leader is doing is not right, at least you should be able to speak the truth with respect, with dignity, with humility. Speak truth to power is nothing, But how you say it, where you say it, and the context in which you say it, this is the problem. But for us as Gambian, once your party leader is in power, you see nothing wrong with him. The other side is always wrong, No matter what they say, we don't want to, see truth in their narrative. This is the problem with the country.
It's affiliation. But bro, Mohammed, what we do is I will let us drink something,
Yeah.
because what I want, because of this demonstration on Monday, it took our topic. But that is the most valuable thing is the people.
The people. Yeah.
What we are talking about here is the head of everything. So I will let us drink something, and then when we come, I want to talk to you about the political line you are talking about here, because I want to talk to you about the political distraction in the Gambia, brother. And I want to hear your opinion about that, and I will also share my opinion because as usual, I will let you drink something. I will play.
I take it. Okay, I take a water and drink.
Yeah, no problem, brother.
All right.
Don't think you must surround the Sasko. We stand up for the people that
The 1%, the puppeteers. Take a look around, all you see is puppeteer. CBS and Walmart and Walgreens. That's to the max and it's all green the vaccine. We kill you quicker than the processing vaccine. Hazmat suits and Lysol juice, you must clean. Click a button or a better for share 2020. Biological warfare, coincidental that it is election year. If they approve, these are the killers without proof. Got evidence, you're not safe under your roof.
Well, who you are looking up? Sure about we dinner. That means that you not see the gravity, the bigger picture. No admit and say you fit the liver dinner. And when we say we are the one, you want to call us sinner.
Guy, you are with the reggae dancehall.
Let's take the bounty killer.
Yeah, bounty.
Political distraction.
Don't talk about when you salute the country, no call from bounty. Kill the poor people, general.
Go, last part, Bulisane.
No more last part. Guy konyanto. Alakelo buka.
No.
Alakelo 1 week kelo. Guy ko boy. Nando ke do boy tunde nyola boy. Konyoto boy. Bas. Ando ke kelendi 1 week.
Yeah.
Pondo ke batara boy. Don't give up the boy.
I know. Nyanjola ya.
I go in Nyanjola dinda nyola. Last part. My youth.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah.
Respect my youth, bro.
Yeah.
It's good, man. It's good to Laspa is a great brother from Bansang. We share our life. We went to school together. It's that was one time in our life. We always sleep on same beds. Wake up every day together.
So
go to school together, come back together, sit and do everything together. I was
together.
We were like, you cannot separate us. So respect to everyone all of my brothers out there, my friends, my schoolmates, and those that I did childhood with. But bro, Bounty was talking on this song about conspiracy. He said when you are selling the country, don't consult me. He said the government are working. You said something here, what Bounty say on this song, like they were saying the government is working for the corporation, like minority, like the capital, like influencers.
Exactly.
So now I want to talk to you about politics.
Yeah.
Mohammed, you went to the Gambia, recently, and you have been following Gambian politics since the fall of Yahya Jammeh,
Yeah.
What is your observation about the Gambian political landscape or the way of Gambian politics? What is your observation?
Okay, thank you very much. This is very important question because we have put an end to dictatorship in 2016. So we expect to usher into a new dispensation, this democratic dispensation. And credit to the government, the democratic space is very open, is very transparent for now. People are moving freely and contributing their opinions on how the government should be governed. We see proliferation of media houses, radio stations in the country, and there are a lot of avenues where one can express his opinion without fear of being intimidated or harassed or killed or kidnapped or whatsoever. And that's one thing I will credit the government for, and also the Gambian people, because we fought for it. Because we never had the opportunity to express ourselves for the past 22 years under the Ajame. So that is something that, at least for now, we are in the Gambia, people are free and they are going on about their businesses and talking about their programs, political programs, and whatever they feel like talking about without intimidation or fear of disappearance or whatsoever.
So
another thing.
Sorry to cut you there. What do you say to the individual who said that the government doesn't give us that? These are things that we make so remains. Like you said, we fought for it. These are our we emphasize this. The government don't have to give us that. That is ours. What do you say to that?
Yeah, that in a way that can be true, because in another way also there can be a counter argument towards to that also, depending on how which angle you view it, because you can say that at the time of Yahya Jammeh, we don't have it, and it's the government that denied us that, So it is the government that denied. We, the people, want it, but we couldn't have it because the government don't want us to have it. So when we have it now, I think it's the political will on the side of the government is also there. But we also have to consider, something else, because the time of Yahya Jammeh and now is different also.
How?
Because once a dictator fall down, a democracy is installed. It is the people became aware and they are awoken, and the Yahya Jammeh system of government was a military, in a way. Yahya Jammeh would come through a coup d'etat, and he won through election. One can say his election, whether it's free and fair is another debate or another argument, but he was elected by the people. So, but now, if Adam Barrow want to take us back to that old system, it's impossible, almost impossible, because the people of the Gambia will not allow it again. Will not allow that to happen. Because we have seen how events unfold. When a simple mistake is committed by a government or a government worker, we see how people come into the street and demonstrate, and manifest and show their anger. So the people, they are awakening. Their sense of fear is kind of disappeared.
I wanted to say, I wanted to say that. I wanted to say that. Don't you think the fear factor, the fear of authority in the Gambia is limited now?
Yes, people. I think that's why the sense of fear is gone into the people from people's mind. So they have this belief that we have the power. The power the power lies in us. It is we who give power, and once we take it back, we find out that the government is powerless. And this was clear to everyone on December 4th when Yajame was sitting in State House, wondering to himself where all those power that I acquired, all those things that all those statements that I can say, nobody there challenge me, and today the whole country is there, saying whatever they want, So that reality, of the situation at the time, when people begin to see such things in their life for the first time, it gives them a kind of sense, that a sense of belongingness, a sense of ownership of the country, a sense of a sense of responsibility to see that we have at least done something which in our wildest imagination years ago we would not have, will not be thinking about this happening. So all those culminated into the disappearance of the fears from the mind of the people. So if you once people are free and they test freedom, if you want to take them back to that old way of life, it's going to take a lot of chaos, a lot of destruction, which I don't think Adam Barrow is willing to take or to sacrifice to take Gambian back to those days. So this is why I said it's different from Gambia time to now.
Okay, Mohammed, what do you say to the argument that this freedom and this fear, lack of fear, this power that people notice that they have, is at some point been mismanaged or misused? Like you can see some events like from, I don't know, Faraba, Banta, something like that, and recently from Sanyang and some other incidents where the community, a certain group of people get up and try to sow their anger or try to take laws in their hands, and it doesn't end good, brother. Don't you think this sometimes this freedom and this power that we have, we are misusing it?
Yeah, that's true. But the incidences that happens in Faraba and for example recently in Sanyang, it's if you look at the context, it does not appear out of a vacuum. It's there is a backdrop to all of these things. So if you look at what happened, what precipitated all these things was the lack of clarity from the side of the government, because the voices were coming out long time ago. People were complaining about the environmental degradation around their environment. There was no, like I can say, a clear vision or a clear leadership that speak truth to the people and tell them, hey, we hear your cry, we understand your frustration, we know you, we feel you, we are part of you, but this is what we are doing to solve this problem. And once that is done, you don't have to stop there. You have to be updating people periodically on how you are able to, what you are doing on those promises that you give them. But it's one thing to tell the people, your situation will be okay, you'll do and this and stop there. And it's another thing to make a follow-up, and update people on what you agree with them. And for me, I think there was lack of leadership on the side of the government to, first of all, put in place mechanism that will prevent what happens in Sanyang from happening. Because if you see the youth of Sanyang have been living with those fishermen in Sanyang for decades. Nobody ever attacked those people. Nobody ever destroyed their canoes and all of those things. Some of those Senegalese were in Sanyang, they even have their families there. But one incident, it just took one incident for all of that anger that the people have in them, for all of that frustration, all of that, separation they have been lamenting over and over again. and they have not seen any tangible step taken by the government to address those situations. You know, some people will use that situation and cause untold suffering, like what happened in China. There were genuine activities that were there to address the situation, but some people also came there, in one way or the other, to voice their anger onto what happened, which I believe when the government take a proper step in addressing those situations, the situation will not have reached that state. Notwithstanding, I'm not saying that what happened should have happened. The law should be respected. What happened, they should, I think I am even a bit disappointed on the side of the government. Since that incident happened, no senior government official come out, either the Minister of Interior or the President himself, to address the people directly and tell them the situation and assure the people that justice will be done. The situation is under control. We know the police are investigating. The police are doing their investigation, but that should not stop the Minister of Interior or the President himself to address the nation, because this is a serious national implication.
Like a diplomatic, can be a row. If Senegal and Gambia was not that like one house, it could be something else, because if their families, the members of their nationals are facing like
it can call a diplomatic row between the two countries now. And like I agree with you at some point, the people are misusing the democracy, the freedom we have in this country, because some people think that democracy is doing what you like, freedom of speech, doing what you like,
saying everything.
Not the case. Yes. Saying everything, doing everything, which is not the case, So I think we need to, we need a lot more civil education going on, to tell people what democracy is all about. It's about being responsible, about saying things in accordance with the law, saying things, putting in the consideration the right of other people, your neighbor and your colleagues and everybody around you, putting into consideration their rights, and doing things the way that will not hinder the next man's right. That is what the democracy is all about.
Mohammed, can I ask you about? I believe in the Gambia we have a lot of political distraction, bro. If I say political distraction, it's like anything that happens in the Gambia now is politicized. It's either some community projects, community problems, or some societal issues that should be like the concern of, like you were saying in the beginning, like coming together as a community without political affiliation, seeing things as a nation, like a community, one community, Gambian people, seeing that as a community, not as the PDOIS or the MPP or the GMC or something like that. Like you were saying, I think in the Gambia we have a lot of, presently, in my opinion, we have a lot of political distractions, because really? At first, look at what is happening every time when something happens. They try to start to point fingers amongst political parties, and look at what happened to the draft constitution. They put it out of context. Of the importance of it was so politicized that really? Ordinary Gambian, like me and you, who can go to the internet and download the draft constitution and read it and see what we think is good and not good. But there are thousands of Gambians, like maybe 1 million of Gambian, 1.5 million of Gambian, who cannot read and write. They don't know all those things, and nobody tell them about what is going on, And these things, political wings took up these things, started blaming each other, and you see what is happening now. They still about this constitution is more about politics than reality. It's more about politics. It's not really. They are not bringing it to the actual way. Like everything is politicized, bro. Don't you see that?
No, that's the fact. That's the fact. I quite agree with you. I agree with you. One thing, I think there is something we are missing here, In any setup or in any discussion, there has to be compromises. And people need to make some sacrifices if a group of people can move from point A to point B. Because it's impossible for 5 or more people come together and all have exact idea of about one thing, the same view, the same. It's not possible. So what will happen is compromise has to be made. We have to give respect to each other and at least give each other the due, and give each other the benefit of the doubt. Okay, in the grand scheme of all of these things, at the end of the day, it is the Gambia that loses when this constitution did not come to pass. So what should be done is each of these individual political parties should see that no one gains by standing on his own ground without making a compromise. And we do not lose anything if we make a compromise also. So what is important is what the Gambians need right now at this moment. They need to remind themselves what were the promises of the coalition 2016. Because all these political parties, except the new ones that are formed recently, they were part of the coalition 2016. They make a promise to the Gambian people that they will usher in a new constitution. And this constitution is now here before our eye, and the same people are talking about this constitution. But what they should put in mind is that this constitution is our own planning. We promise Gambian people we will bring a new constitution. So now, what compromise can we make after making all this effort by the CRC? Now the constitution, the draft is here. We cannot fail the Gambian people. At least we have failed the Gambian people in all the promises we made. They say 3 years is failed. The security reform is not yet done. At least the one thing they should look to themselves and say, at least we say to the Gambian people, this is possible, is this draft constitution. Let us put aside our differences and make sure that this draft constitution became a law. At least the Gambian people can say, at least they say this, they say that, but at least they give us a constitution. They promise one, they fulfill one of the promises. If I am these leaders, this is what I'll be thinking, I'll be thinking all of the promises, what are we able to, what is realistically possible for us to fulfill? Right now, everything is under the hand of Barrow. He refused to go out at the end of the 3 years. You can't do anything about it. And the security sector reform, as a government, he has sole responsibility to make sure that the security sector reform is done. All others cannot do nothing about it. But right now, what they can do something about is the constitution. Because whether they are there or not, when they all agree to something, they can present the constitution to the Gambian people. So all of them standing their ground and say, no, we see this. It's not important, At the end of the day, they should see the Gambian people and realize that in that constitution, there are so many important clauses that if we lose, it's not Barrow who lose, it's not my party or Sendabo, it's the Gambian people that lose. Because most of the contention is the retroactive clauses that they are talking about. That is the only contention that they are talking about. Because they are saying, but that is not, they are saying that favors, Barrow is saying that favors, that is against him. The retroactive clause, that is against him. And if other people are saying, no, the retroactive clause is, it's not against you. So at the end of the day, whose interests are they fighting? Is Barrow is fighting for his own interests, or the opposition are fighting for their own interests?
But
so
don't you think this is the same problem that we had as ordinary people who doesn't belong to all these political parties, who doesn't have political interests? We are the one who are we are the one who lost, like you said, because if the president Adama Barrow is looking for what is for his benefit, he doesn't let's see nobody's life is guaranteed tomorrow. No, none of those brothers. But what is for certain is tomorrow morning the Republic of the Gambia will be whether you are alive or dead.
That's true. That's for certain. Yes.
You understand what I'm saying? This is where many of us fail to understand. Many of these brothers, because if Adam Barrow is thinking about himself, if Usain Udabo is thinking about himself, if my party is thinking about his interest, like when he come to power, or when Usain Udabo come to power, and like Adam Barrow now is thinking of how to stay long in to have a second term or third term, yeah, he doesn't know that his life is not certain, but the Gambia, the Republic of Gambia, that is certain, bro. As long as they, like they said, as a Muslim, we all believe the trumpet it's not blown, that this God will finish this war. The Republic of Gambia is certain, but my life and your life is not certain. You don't know. We see Magufuli, bro.
That's true. That's true.
He was admitted and he could not.
He could not survive. Yeah.
A president, and he's not the first president to die in office. So what are they fighting for? Are they fighting for us, or they are fighting for themselves?
Yeah, that's the question. That's the question. Everyone should ask himself, and even the supporters that are supporting the political parties. No, at times, it's frustrating. You engage people in a conversation about the Gambia. You try to tell them senses. You try to put them convincing argument, but yet still they will hold on to their view based on the fact that they are not on the same party line with you.
This is
the problem.
We have Terika Force. We don't have political institutes.
As long as they are not on the same party with you, they never agree to your demand. They will never agree to your points. So this is the biggest problem we have in the Gambia. And it's disturbing our leaders also. Because leaders are, if you don't have followers, you are not a leader. And if your followers are telling you some of these things, and you listen to these people, then automatically, if you are not a leader who is kind of radical, you'll go along with your people, And if you act otherwise, your people will say you sell out, you are a coward, you are this and this, So it's a very difficult time, in Gambian politics at this moment, because no one is trying to, everyone is blinded by individual political, affiliation, That's something that is hindering our collective fight, to achieve anything in that country.
That is true, Mohammed. You see, if I want to, I wanted to talk to you about a lot of things, but what I will do is I will free you. I will have you another time, because I see that our workers' unions took a lot of our time. But
I know.
I will try, and we come here. We talk about
anytime.
We talk about these things, because, bro, time o sitale pour nga diam. Hani mo killing neka mo lamoy. Or if it's more killing the run more will hear us, because we are exposed to different kind of politics. It is along how long it took in Belgium here to form even a government.
I know.
And
it's not easy.
And okay, it was based. It took long because every political party was fighting for their own interests, like now in Gambia. But their interest is not individual interest.
Yeah. It's different.
The policies of the party.
So party,
stand for.
The policies,
The policies of the party. But in the Gambia, now they are saying this doesn't favor Adam Barrow. So we are talking about Adam.
Not about Adam Barrow, not policy.
Or when they talk about age limit and they say no, this doesn't favor Usain Udabo, And when we talk about something, they say, this doesn't favor brother my party. You are talking about somebody. You are not. It's not about the party anymore.
Party, yeah, it's true.
But in like country, me and you, we live here 18 months. We don't have a government.
That's true.
It's so. But these parties, we are not talking about individual politics.
Individuals, no, yeah. It's their party, their principle and their policies that they are.
Yeah,
they are defending.
Like my party will say, the GMC, our policy, this is what we see, that we see every Gambian should have this and this and this. We want to see that reflect in the constitution. PDRs also will say this is what we see. This is what, and they want to see that, but not like individual. We are not talking about individual. This is the problem we have in the Gambia. The people have to recognize themselves first, than the politicians.
It's true. That's the truth. That's the truth. Because once you take ownership of something, you see yourself in something, you recognize yourself into something, then the focus will more on the party leader, It's going to be the organization itself, what it stands for, what it want to achieve for the people, Then if that is clear and everyone is able to see the differences between the parties and the policies, then people will be able to to decide, which party is the right party, But the saddest thing is we hardly know the policies and manifesto of the political parties. If you ask a party supporter, what is your party's policy? What on agriculture, or what is your party's policy on education? He cannot tell you what the policy is about. So he will tell you that I support this person because he tell I support my father, I support Anambra, I support Hussein Dabo. They will tell you they call you individual names.
Yes,
but you don't even know the policy of these parties.
So that is the problem. You are absolutely right, bro. I will tell you this. There are certain time people from political parties they contacted me. I said, listen, I'm not living in the Gambia. I'm not franchised to support any political party in the Gambia. I said, but here is the problem. I was sharing information. I was sharing ideologies with them, but I noticed the party is most of our parties, most of the people who are affiliated to parties, they are affiliated to the party from an individual. Like me, I can say, listen, if Adama Barrow is not the president, let brother my party be the president, or let the other brother, how to call him, this bro, how to call him, GMC. No, Mama Kande. I will say let Mama Kande or somebody be the president because of the political this thing I see. Because I know Adama Barrow is from URR. My party is from URR. If I want to talk to my party today, I know how to get to him, even if he's president. Because I know his family members.
Yes, that's true.
If I want to reach to the president today, in any way, I know people who are directly connected to the president.
Yeah,
I know
that's true. That's
you
true.
understand? I can say, listen, if Adama Barrow is not the president, let my party be the president. If we are looking about Terry Kafo, like the way in Uganda, I say Mama Kande because Mama Kande is from Jima.
Yeah, it's true. That's true.
These are not the facts. But the problem here is the people are not sensitized, bro. People, it's unfortunate.
The awareness is lacking, The awareness is lacking.
Don't you see the same syndrome that was happening during PPP era and happens during Yahya Jammeh's system? It is going to happen now. It is. Don't you observe that too? Don't you have
the same thing? Yeah, it's the same thing going on. Political personal, like a personal, the political space is such that people identify themselves with a party leader. Or I know you, okay, Babukar is my friend, let me talk to him, I use our connection, and bring you to my side, without even telling you in detail what my party policies and programs are, I just tell you, boy, come, come now, GMC, tell baby particular name, tell baby child. Then you come. You don't even know why you join GMC. You cannot explain my policy or our programs. Or somebody like you say, Mama Kande, or you join there, So you never care in Gambia, before. We go about 4 minutes, they are comping, falling. Mo muda kar muda fati kar muda fongoti mune muda fati mune muda fongoti. They don't know what what you have for them in your manifesto. Those Muscafol, you know, they don't know what your party policy on women. You know how to help them. You know when they are like garden family. You know, if they are like garden, you know, yela family wabi from point A to point B. You know, kabo base fongoro, you know, kabo giro ba, you know, fongoro, you know, karaba se marche, you know, be transport probably you know, how they fare into your program of it, you know. They just come and say, you know, maybe you give them something, you know, the money dealer don't, you know, kunga babu karamudam famati, you know, nga fongo, you know, you come drumming and dancing, you know, and so still now you have that kind of politics in the Gambia, you know. So
you live in Belgium here. You see political parties. You don't see politicians giving cars, political militants giving motor bicycles or something, you know, to represent politics. Have you ever seen? You live in Vosula. Have you ever seen a political campaign in the street of Vosula?
No, never. I'm not far from the bureau, NVR. The NVR bureau is not far from me.
But
you know,
but all this
you hardly see people even in that bureau. You know, you hardly see people sitting in that bureau or making it. It's not like that here. You know, it's not like I have never seen a campaign. You know, in Rusula, you know, about political party making a campaign. You know, I have never seen it here. You know. Because
you get every day put it in your brief box.
Yeah, and I can tell you one thing. I meet this one lady. He's an NBR. You know, I think she provincial. You know, she's contesting in provincial, something like provincial. You know, election. You know, yeah. So I asked him, you know, about NBR and all of these things. So he said to me, you know, go to our website, you know, and you read about. He tell me go to our website, you know. Go to our website and you read about what is NBR, what we stand for, what is our policy, and all of these things. You know. He just give me the website of NBR and tell me, you know, where to go.
You see, what Muso I say corrupt no, as he will misinform you and tell you because these are the policies here. Because politics is not about jamboree. Like when the president is going to Basse, everybody in Combo follow the president and go to Basse. You know?
No.
And maybe all these people, when they arrive, the people of Basse will not even hear what the president have for them. They cannot even ask what they want to ask. Imagine 50 cars, 50 vehicles, or 25 vehicles.
It's distraction, really.
Entering Nyankoi. You know? Bro, that is already a distraction to the people. The people will not be able to know what they want to say or to express their frustrations to the president because they are already distracted.
Of course.
That is not only the political party, the president who is doing that. Up to the last political party, they do that. And
that's problem. And the thing about that even is it's a waste of resources. You know, just thinking about how many cars you are transporting. You know, if all these cars has to be fueled. You have to tank all these cars now. You know, you have to mobilize all these people. You know, you have to eat. They have to eat. You know, and all these are expenses. You know, that coming from the poor people. You know, at the end of the day, if you can save all this money, you know, and invest it back into the people. You know, but you will see opposition can start to sponsor projects in the country if we cut down some of our activities by going around with a convoy and all of these things.
But opposition by right should be a government or in the waiting. You know, like in UK, what they say, shadow government. You know,
shadow government.
You know, they have that terms in let's say in the Gambia now, the biggest opposing political party in the Gambia, like UDP. You know, when they have a big revenue collection movement that they can collect more. When Basse was affected, we hear about them, what they did there at the market. We hear what they do to Brikama and all those things. They could help institutions or grassroots movements or the youths. They make youths, you know. Let me tell you about the party that I support here, the PDOIS. PDOIS. You know, the PV, they are here, the Workers' Party, yeah?
Mm.
The Workers' Party in Belgium, amongst our party, we have what they call the Volksvolksgesundheit. They have like Medical Sans Frontier, something like that.
Mm.
Militants of the party who are medical specialists, yeah, like doctors, nurses, and all those things. They have a special branch, a movement that go to render medicine, you know, professional doctors who are party militants. They render medical service free to people. You know, they were the first people to go into these elderly houses, yeah, to go and do mass testing. When they were the party was campaigning, telling the government you have to start doing mass testing.
Yeah. I saw it.
You know, they you know, those are the activities that political parties have to do. Political parties should not be about you know, going to come into Basse saying, yeah, Adam Barrow is wicked, Adam Barrow is this, he's eating our money, blah blah. You know, when Adam Barrow is back, when Lawyer Dabo come, it will be the same.
Yeah, it's true.
Because the institution that you are heading, they are not doing anything different. You are not doing anything different. You are doing the same thing with limited resources and accessibilities. But there is no different from the ruling government and the opposing parties in the Gambia. They are all doing the same. They are all doing the same.
I agree with you. The only difference is the ruling government is in charge of our economy. We give them our money to manage it for us. That's only different they have. We have a voice. We can tell them this is what you want. This is what we demand from you, because you are managing our taxes, our money. Which the opposition party, did not have the luxury to do it. But like you said, the little they can do in their own little capacity, they can do. They should be able to do that. When they are still a government, when they are still an opposition, at least to show to the people that this is what we will be able to do when we take over the country. Since we are an opposition, we have limited resources with a limited capacity, but yet still, this is what we are able to do for you. So if you give us chance to be in charge of the economy, what we are going to do is just a tip of an iceberg of what you should expect from us when we come into government.
That is true. That's absolutely true. Because this party, they call themselves the Workers' Party, and believe you me, all their members of parliament, from national to regional parliament, they are all from the working class. Like cleaners at the airport, somebody who was a cleaner at the airport, she is representing the party at parliament, federal. We have doctors, we have people, dock workers. Those people representing the people in party in parliament, they are all from the working class. When they talk about, let's say now, woman talking about the narcos in let's say Giroba or Alunhare or in Damfakunda. Somebody, a woman who knows about, she go to the parliament and say, listen, me, I'm a cleaner, or I work in the narcos for 40 years. This is my source of living. This is what I see. This is the problem of the Gambia. But bro, you bring representative at the parliament who doesn't know, even you see the arguments of presently. Now they are talking about Hesal. Last time they were arguing about skin bleaching. When the RBH even don't have it.
Medicine. Misplaced priority.
Bro, it's unfortunate, bro. It's unfortunate because the people are not educated. People are not, sensitized. Even those who are educated, they are misleading those who are not. It is so unfortunate, my brother.
No, you are right. Like you said, if you have in that parliament people who are representing Nakudogulal, people who are representing Kapindal, people who are representing business executives, people who are representing fishermen. When they come to that parliament, what they were talking about is the business of the people. That's what they were talking about. Because this person, like you say, have an experience of being a gardener, a woman gardener. You know. She will talk on behalf of her women group. She will talk on behalf of her people. You know. These people also the one from the fishing industry will talk on behalf of the fishermen. You know. Then if I like all the sector of the economy will be represented in the parliament and will be set and nearly the political parties all still they have all these people within them, you know, because they may not but do we even consider these people and even bring them when we are discussing in our executive meetings?
No.
Did any people from the grassroots that came and directly what is affecting them when we are talking about our executive? No, it is the few executive, the few top people who sit and in their own way, in their own thinking, they think they can think for these people, for the gardener, what she feel or what he feel. But he who feels it knows it. Let him or her come and talk for himself.
But bro,
exactly, you listen.
That is what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Listen, the last time I hear the members of parliament, they are talking about loans, there are loans and blah, blah, blah. I say, huh? What are you talking about here? You talking about your loans. What about those? Where are the security men? Where are the carpenters? Where is the small business owner on the streets of Basse or in Serekunda who cannot afford a loan because his or her business is not good? Where is the narco woman who walk from along Damfakunda to Basse to come and sell her tomatoes and and all garden tools? She cannot, because of her small business, she's not eligible, she's not eligible to have a loan from the from a bank. What about talking about those people? You're talking about a politician. The politician cannot build a house. The politician cannot do this. And the first person to be rewarded during the change of the system was the politician.
Yeah.
We are not the ones who they have a lobbyer, somebody, an influencer, a capitalist who sponsors some cars. We are not the same people who are giving those people. We are not the same people who are giving those cars. Are not the same people who get the brown envelopes from the president.
Yeah.
We are not those people. Is it the narco woman?
The same. No.
Bro, this is why the people should be awakened now. This is why the Gambian should think up, the ordinary Gambian, the voter, the one who have to go to vote, should think about, what are you voting for? Why are you affiliating yourself? Why should you wake up to go to vote?
That's the problem is we have a big problem because the way the system is built up, you cannot change the current realities, with this current reality. If you want to change something, you have to change the whole governance infrastructure because that's the system in place. It cannot be, what the idea you are bringing in right now cannot implement it in this setup, this present setup. If you want to implement some of these things, we have to do away with this way of doing things. That's the only way we can able to bring these kind of things we are saying. But as long as the same system is going on, we have the same governance, the legislature, the executive, and the judiciary, and the colonial setup, the way the colonial leave things for us. As long as we are following these things, all what we are saying right now is impossible to practice. Unless we overhaul the whole things and practicalize things for ourselves, the way it fits us, the way it fits the poor people. Because the way things are, like I said, it's always benefit the few rich people. And it's going to continue like this as long as the system remains like this. It's impossible to implement some of these things we are saying it here because the setup is not conducive for that thing to happen. It's going to be very difficult to implement those things.
One of the things I wanted to talk to you about is the cry of this young brother, your friend on that video. And recently, I saw, since the demise of President Magufuli, I wanted to talk to you about the influence of capitalism, the influence of the multinationals in our society. You know, a Gambian, somebody who's in the Gambia will think these things are not happening in the Gambia, but it is already happening in the Gambia. There are multinationals, there are rich people, capitalist people who have access to government, and because of the money that they have, that they pump into political parties or to go to government favor, ruling parties favor, they can access to our resources, or they can easily, bypass some laws and regulations, without following due process. And that is capitalism, bro. That's capitalism. I wanted to talk to you about these things, but I think I have to get you more. We talk more about this, but I think, now what we will do is, if you agree, I will try you once more time. We talk about
Yeah, we can make it next week, no problem. For me, next week we can come next week and expand on these things,
No problem.
Thank
you for accepting that.
I will next week I'm available.
No problem. So, what do you have as a young? I wanted to talk to you about your experience in Gambia and all those things, about how do the social life, what you see there. But we're talking about more important things, and via our discussions, I can learn from what are your disappointment, or were your observations in the Gambia from our discussions.
But there are more in Gambia right now. There are a number of things that I am not happy with, but I think this has to do with the people also, and because, like, when you go to the Gambia, like from the airport to Senegambia to Bakau, traffic light area, you can't understand what the country is turning into. There is no organization, there is no arrangement, there is no everywhere is packed with old cars, trucks parked around the wayside. Everywhere is a garage. Everywhere is. There is no. I don't know who is responsible for making sure that things are ordered in that country. Every Tom, Dick, and Harry can just get up, and just see another somewhere around the highway, make it a garage for himself. So you cannot look 100 meter or 50 meter without seeing a garage, without seeing an old car parking somewhere, cars that have no use. There's no system in place. Everywhere is terrible. You cannot, if you want to do development in those areas, it's going to be very difficult, to move all of those things. Where are you going to take them? Nobody is taking responsibility. People are doing things the way they like.
I have that observation when I was last there, and I was thinking, maybe because of the open market now, free market, people are not afraid to invest in the Gambia now. Everybody, before you hear, when you take things to the Gambia, the government will take it from you, and people also there, the country was not stable, and people now, if you are right there. The same thing that you saw, I saw that when I was there, and I was so frustrated about that, because there is no proper market. Maybe that is what you are talking about. There is no proper market for something, because everybody can be everywhere in every corner.
At least there should be an organization, an organized way. Things should be organized in a way that if you go to this site, you find these things. This is what you will find there. If you need something, like for example, you need cars. They can tell you, go to this place. You will have cars there, or not only one place, but at least that's where cars are predominantly found. You will find them there. But not everywhere on both sides of the road. Both old cars and used cars that are not. That can no more move, trucks parking everywhere, truck garage and all of these things,
So
it's unorganized.
Is it true that the observation many people are making is Africa is becoming a dump site
it's already a dump site, bro. It's already a dump site, because we ourselves, we make it a dump site, because everything you see. Even you yourself know that this is not usable, you just want to take it home, at least you say, maybe I have at least something from it, At the end of the day, people don't know use all of these things now. We end up, making too much useless things, bringing too much useless things in Africa that we don't need it. No. I think right now the government control things, some of the things that we don't need. I know we cannot, it's impossible to stop it automatically, but at least minimum, like for example, motor money along ni nata poro, at least there should be somebody munyantaka to check whether this car is roadworthy or not. But here you cannot. Every year you have to go to current,
Yeah.
to check whether your car is usable or not.
Yeah.
But there we don't have current. Any car that goes, is entered into the market. No wonder we have so much accident happening in the country. Some of these things are caused by cars that are faulty, and things like that.
But last time I hear about the minister, the department of this interior, they talking about people who get license like easily. They're trying to regularize things about this driver's license in the Gambia, and that bring a lot of outcry in the Gambian community, and saying everything towards the department. Don't you think we are our own breakers? We break our own self.
It's true. Huh? Yeah, because like I said, model car anything there'll be a masakuna fengo fenge. It's like I don't like this government. So no matter what they do, whether it's in the interest of the people or not, I'm going to criticize it because I don't like this government. Therefore, I noticed one thing in the Gambia, like Nine there are so many motor cars, they have no number plate, A lot of cars going on Borican Siloka and no play found, I understand. So I wonder how population Bukawal Jeva, Motor Borica, no place. That's a security risk. You cannot do that here, without license, without insurance, That's very risky,
No, you cannot do that here.
It's happened.
Anila moto ni ika buronda imang insurance soto. Ibe sila dorong letter obe futalema.
No, you will not try it because the consequence is going to be it's going to be there. So
who are you to blame for that?
No, then I'm found blame because masakunda I understand. Because they come from us. Kabona sole kono na brother sole mu, na sister sole mu, na muso sole mu, kema le mu yajele. Na father sole mu yajele. So inunto leka ni ra dokula ni ra inunto leka si inunto leka kacha ka ideas exchange yajele. So yenge nyame ikamuda ora nyama I understand. So ni masakunda luwa landi luani whether I favor me favor but na tra tonya wo mu fender mu ngalanko. It's good for the country, Kana ata you against iba criticize la because it mala masakunda. I understand. Umake banku don kende ya jere.
Ani yalong every elke burger is every citizen, every resident, every person who live in a state should take responsibility of the state. Like you said, the security, the presidents, the ministers are our family members. Imagine you knowing that your son or your daughter, is not qualified to drive, and you give them a car to drive in the Gambia on the streets. And when they cause an accident, who are you to blame? Who is to blame? Not them. It's you.
You are to blame, yeah.
Yeah. So responsibility. What you are talking about is true. The responsibility to start with us, we the people, and also all these things that you are saying also like molmenka on like unused materials or nati to have a profit from other people, so that is also, we can say also the responsibility lies on the people. You have to know that what you are bringing to the people, it's useful, you don't have to use people. Imagine more profit all. Yefenje me yalon ya yata yang kasamba Gambia. kawafu molma, you know. I'm correct at the first place.
No, all of my it's all that goes down to honesty. Actually, you have to be at least you have to be honest to yourself. You have to go this thing. At the other end. So always put yourself in other people's shoes. You know, if you want to do something, you know, especially when it's come to the third person. You know, but always need a go. I'm looking for my interest. Always my interest. Saying Dumale bank country the bank interest you like. So nimbe ngana interest you because everything start at home, you know. Like it move forward, my child cannot drive a car. You know. And because of this is my child, I have access to car. He go driving on the street. So you are committing a murder, you know, in the first place. You know it's a risk to himself and risk to anyone he's gonna come into contact with in the street. You know.
Kalansino kamol bribe kalansino samole me alonko imang, you know, you just your wife or your, you know, you buy lancing for them without them going to like due process of like training them, proper training, like, you know, mol jamal ka motol burundi in a society to imang they don't know even the code of the road, traffic codes.
So that's bribery. And Nyaji Wefanang, well, I blame the government for that. And I blame the individual also for that. Because corruption on Fenadimungaranko, one it's a two-way traffic, you know. The person who is giving who is bribing this guy and who is taking the bribe, they are all corrupt, you know. You understand? If I go to a licensing department and pay, you know, $1,000 or $2,000 and give it to the person who issue a license, then I don't know, I'm not qualified to drive, you know, but because I don't want to go to the right way because Marlon, I cannot drive. But that you know, therefore I'm number one, I am corrupt. And the member bribing in Mudan, he is corrupt. So Naji Gambia, corruption Kakanyaman, you know, Moleka initiate, you know, Ikaramunia and the Wolfanka, they cannot control themselves, they take it back, you know, I understand.
Because it's part of the system. It's like
that's the system.
Like a means of earning money.
Earning money.
Yeah.
So but oh yeah.
Fatih, we already spoke 2 hours, you know. So let's adjourn this to next week. Then we will talk about we come nga Gambia fano pan Africano
then you know me, I'm a pan-Africanist. I'm a pan-Africanist. I want to speak on that also. You know.
I wanted to talk about that because you know I you know that's why you know I see your argument about, you know, about the way the West is trying to trying to paint brother, the late brother Makuli. All this. We know that it's a trend. That is what they did to Kwame Nkrumah. That is what they did to Thomas Sankara. That is what they did to many people, many Pan-Africans, people who doesn't believe in taking, you know, being led, you know, by influence by capitalists, you know, multinationals. So we know that. Next week, inshallah, I will try and have you again. We continue.
Inshallah. Really.
Next week we continue. Thank you for
your
time.
We can make this a every week program, you know. If you have time, you know, we are available, you know. We can talk about things, you know. And,
thank you very much for it. Thank you very much.
Really.
So what do you have to tell those who are watching us today? For
Bafole ko ya baraka bake, you know. Poe tamol munta pour kamol jube, you know. Andum panang Bafole ko, you know, kamun fo yan idea lamu, you know. It's not like we are against anyone directly or indirectly, you know. Kamun fo, you know, it's all about, you know, our country, you know, and how best we can put ideas together. So we are young Gambians, you know, who are passionate about what is happening in our country. So that's the money tonight, you know, we are talking and kamo bindi wala kamo padi kari against wala ka padi kari, you know, la ko jindi, you know. So ibisa kram tan ko nying kula mungalan ko kachala mo ba continental kaje ko na banko kafla nyoma nyadi ka samba nyato ani Africa be because nyaju be we are all in the same problem. Gambia, what's happening in Gambia, all of Senegal, all of Guinea-Bissau. So we have a common problem. So Mbafole, they can keep watching this platform, the conversation. It's going to be bigger and bigger. With our able presenter, Babukar Jallo, is doing amazing things. I say shout out to you. Respect my youth.
Respect my youth. Respect.
So thank you very much for.
We bring our private discussions on on platform so that people will know.
Yes, really.
We are not always having the same views.
The same,
we agree to disagree.
Sometimes we agree, sometimes we argue. Seriously,
That's the beauty of it. And this is not the first time. We have been doing this since in the classrooms. They put debates. They put motion against emotion.
It's true.
I be there. So sometimes we just argue for the for the benefit of learning from each other. You are wrong. Just giving you. In Belgium, there is one program in the Flemish TV soul. Ika command. What else? What if?
What else? What if? Yeah. What else?
Yeah. If you translate in English, it means what?
What if? Yeah.
Yeah. What if what you are thinking is not correct?
It's always.
Have you ever stepped at once and think about that? What if what you are doing is not correct? Or if what you are not doing is correct and you are not doing it, and you should do it, you don't do it. What if? Have you ever asked yourself that question? What if?
Very important. Yeah. Very important.
People they in that program. Sometimes if you are so religious or something, you don't watch it because they
they question your religion even.
No. They don't have limitation. Sometimes I see as I phone and what if God was your neighbor?
Yeah, then you have to
what else God was your boorman of your boofrau? And then they make God they bring like an image. You see, it's TV. It's like it's just like drama. You learn from it. It's not like it is correct in a sense, but it can be correct. Who are you to question? Because
you never know.
It's already said. What if? What if what is wrong? What you think that I am wrong? I'm not wrong. I'm right.
It's true.
You never know, bro.
You never know.
Thank you very
never
much.
know.
Thank you very
much. Thank you, man. Shout out, man. Respect, man.
I will catch you next week, inshallah.
Yeah, inshallah.
Thank you very
much. Yeah, have a nice
brother.
day.
Thank you very much for joining us this, and we promise we'll come back next week, inshallah, on the open conversation with my childhood friend, my childhood and classroom former classmate. He's very stubborn. He knows me. I used to. Thank you all. I wish
thank
you all.
You. Respect. We see you later, inshallah, next week.
Yeah, boy. Thank you very much, brother.
All right. Thank you, man.
Respect, man. Yeah. That was it. I wish you all a wonderful weekend. I hope to come to your way next week again. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah. Salut.